Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a new first impression Friday. I feel like I haven't done a first impression in a while. So today I'm going to be testing out some new makeup. I have the Festival palette from Juvia'S, the TheBalm New Liquid highlights, new primer, blur stick primer from Milk, and a few other items. So I'm excited to be trying these out. So if you're ready for a new first impression Friday, why don't we go ahead and get started. Alrighty, I can find my ears, so I just pulled my hair up, got you zoomed in. So like I said, I do have the Festival palette here by Juvia'S. This is the new eyeshadow that they came out with. Here's what the inside looks like. I had my friend Ellie send this to me and I was so excited when I opened it. I think all I could say was like, wow. I mean, wow. Did a tutorial with the Juice palette the other day recreating the Pixi Beauty Valentine's Day makeup look, and I really like the palette. So I'm excited for this one, but I'm also very terrified at the same time. I say that I'm not the best looking at a palette and coming up with a look like that, but we're just gonna try something today and see what happens. I did swatch everything so I could put a photo on Instagram, so I'll go ahead and insert that swatch photo so you can see what all of the shades look like. And I stared at them on my arm for a really long time, like, okay, so figure it out, girlfriend. And I'm still here like, what am I gonna do? So the names I feel like are gonna be super hard for me to pronounce, so I'll just point to what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna come in with this shade first, which is kind of like a peachy orangey type of shade, and I'm gonna use the blending brush from Bdellium Tools, one of my favorite blending brushes at the moment. I do have my eyes primed, and then I also did set them with a powder. So I'm going to just lay this one into the crease, the outer part of the eye. I really have no idea what I'm doing, but we're gonna give something a shot here, and if it doesn't work out, it's just makeup and we will all survive. I have a good feeling about it, guys. I have a good feeling we'll all survive. Not a good feeling about the makeup look, but that we're gonna survive it. Also, as I lay this one down, if you notice that like I'm squinting like crazy, it is because we got 6 inches of snow last night. Okay? 6 inches, that's just completely unnecessary. And it's so bright outside. I usually just film in front of my big window in my office, and I always have like my blinds up. I put the blinds down, and I also have them turned, like instead of being open, I have them almost completely halfway closed, and I'm still shoved as far back as I can go in my office, and it's still so bright in here that I'm like, oh. So if you notice me squinting, that's why. If you ever notice me squinting like in the beginning of my videos, it's because I'm trying to get used to looking directly outside, because normally I'm turned looking at my computer, so it's totally different when all of a sudden it's like, whoa, it's so bright outside. Move over and pick up a smaller brush. This one is just from Morphe, and I'm gonna grab the center shade here, which is this kind of like magenta pink. When I swatched it, it didn't seem like it had as much intensity as I maybe thought looking at it in the palette, but that was just a swatch, so I don't know. So I'm still gonna go pretty light-handed and tap my brush off. And I'm gonna work this on the outer part of the eye. I've been really into these pink looks lately, so I wanted to incorporate pink in here somehow. And I really didn't wanna, like, I wanted to try to challenge myself to go more than just my, like, basic look, because there is this, like, nice shimmer right here, kind of like a gold shimmer. I was like, yeah, you can just use the gold shimmer. And I was like, no, try to use some colors. Just give it a shot. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. When there's basically no color left on the brush, I'm just gonna kind of sweep it in along the crease and blend it out. This might be where it gets a little weird, but I'm like really attracted to this color and I want to use it. And it's this kind of like mustard yellow over here. I'm just gonna try it on the lid and see what it looks like. This could be really bad, or it could be cool. I don't know how it's gonna combine with the pink, but we're gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna use the Sigma E55 shader brush. And I'm just going to tap this onto the lid. This was another one when I swatched it. It didn't seem like it had maybe like as much impact that I would have thought looking at it in the palette. But I'll just still take my time and kind of build it up here. What I got so far, I'm not 100% how I feel yet. And I feel like it's so funny when I was reading the comments on using every shade in a palette challenge. You know, there's so many other people out there that are better than me than coming up with color combos. And it was funny reading some of the comments because people are like, I wish I could be like telling you as you were doing it, like put this there, put that there. I'm like, yeah, wish you could have too. And it's so funny because sometimes I read comments and people say like, oh, I wish you wouldn't like put yourself down or like give yourself a hard time. And I totally don't envision me saying that like I don't have that artistically creative mind, like I'm not great at coming up with looks by myself. I genuinely don't feel like that's me putting myself down. It's just the truth. I mean, it just is what it is. It's like me saying I'm bad at math. I just am. I'm not trying to put myself down there or anything like that. It's just stating facts. I was never into art. I used to cry having to go to art classes like in middle school and such. I would cry because I couldn't get it. No matter what it was we were working on, I could not get it. And I remember, especially in middle school, always thinking that the teacher was so mean to me because I would get so upset because I'd want to do good and I'd want to try, but there's something in there that just does not click. And I would hate going to art class so much. Oh, me putting myself down, truly, I don't think it is. It's just me saying like, that's not something I'm good at. And that's okay. I also can't parallel park. Totally fine. I can write books, can't parallel park. I feel like maybe I don't hate what we got going on here. So I'm just going to take that Morphe brush and then kind of blend it. I feel like maybe sometimes like makeup looks when I start to do them, I'm like, not so good. But then like as things come together, as the eye looks come together and the face comes together, I don't mind it as much. But I still feel like I want to do something else. But okay, I think I'm just gonna let it hang out here right now with the eyes. And I feel like maybe as I start to build the face, maybe I'll get an idea of if there's something else I should do with my lid, or maybe I should just do something really fun on the lower lash line. Not 100%, but that's what I'm gonna do for now with this palette, but we'll definitely be coming back to it. But I'm gonna switch over now to my face. Alrighty, so for my face primer, I'm gonna try this new Milk Makeup Luminous Blur Stick. So this is a new product from Milk Makeup. It's $36 and it is available now. And this is what it looks like. So it's the same concept as their original blur stick, except that this one is supposed to leave a luminous glow to the skin. But I thought it was interesting because it does say that it gives a luminous finish, but at the same time it says that it's matte. So I was like, I never understand when they say luminous and matte. I just swatched some on my hands. I don't know if you'll be able to see it great on camera, but let's go ahead and give this a shot. I'm just gonna apply it to my face and see how we do like I would normally the blur stick, which I do really like the blur stick from Milk Makeup. So we'll see if I like the luminous one. Wow, it really is luminizing. I'm just gonna take my fingers and kind of rub it around here and see what I think. But like I said, I do like the blur stick. And I'm super dry right now, so I like to be looking luminous. So we'll see if this one works out for me. So right off the bat, I feel like it did bring luminosity to the skin. I could see that right, like as I could see it. But I don't necessarily notice a ton, maybe a little bit of blurring. But when I use the original Milk Makeup Blur Stick, like I can tell a difference right away. And I don't know if I noticed as much with this one. A little bit of a blur effect, but nothing too crazy. But that's what it looks like on. So I will do a follow-up, of course, to my first impression videos. I always come back and do a follow-up in a couple weeks. I did do a makeup haul. I think it was posted last week. I'll have that link down below. And it was a pretty small haul, so I think I'm actually going to combine the haul with this first impression video. So in a couple weeks, check back because I'll be reviewing everything that I got from Sephora and Ulta, and then also all the products that I try in this one, because first impressions is really hard to actually review items. For foundation, I don't know if this is a new product. I don't think it is. Everything else is fairly new to the market, but this is the Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Creme. I did get this sent to me from Octoly, which I was pretty excited about. I was sent the shade Buttercup, so we shall see if that works. But I was excited about it. When I saw it, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to like put in an order proposal for it because I have so many foundations. But then I started seeing people reviewing it, and a lot of people had good things to say, so I do want to give it a try. I did think it was interesting because I was reading about it, and it says that it's ultimate coverage, which to me means like full coverage, right? But then it says it's also lightweight and very buildable, so we shall see, because full coverage isn't my absolute favorite, but I don't know, I felt like I was getting kind of like conflicting things. I don't know if my shade match is going to be great because I did just self-tan yesterday, so I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm just going to do a few pumps here on my Morphe Sponge and apply it to my face. I self-tanned for, I filmed my Will I Buy a video yesterday, and I had self-tanned and it had been like 2 hours. And as I was watching the video, I was like, oh man, you can totally tell that the self-tanner was kicking in. And I even wore a shirt that was like high up and had like a cowl neck or whatnot to try to hide the fact that I was probably going to be changing colors in the video. But yeah, I sure was. So I'm just going to blend this in with the Morphe Sponge. So, I mean, right away, I can tell it's full coverage. Like, wow. I think it's going to be a bit too yellow for my skin tone, which is kind of a bummer. But that's okay. We'll keep going. Keep trying. Okay, so it blended out pretty easily. It didn't take too much time to blend, and I felt like it covered everything really well. I had some blemishes on my forehead here and then some around the chin area, and it covered all of those really well with just, I mean, I would say I did like 1.5 pumps. It appeared to be a very liquidy foundation, so I didn't need a ton, and that looks pretty darn full coverage to me. Again, I don't think the shade match is the best ever of life, but we can maybe somehow get away with it. It'll be okay. I'm actually kind of digging the claims of it being lightweight too, because sometimes with full coverage it just sits like it's too heavy on my skin, like it gets cakey and weird and lines and stuff. I'm like trying to show you guys I don't have Botox, like but it seems to be actually looking really nice on the skin. It looked pretty good, even around my nose area. I mean, I did just apply it, so like can't get too excited, but even around my nose area it's still looking pretty good. So hey, that's not too bad. I'll be excited to see how it wears, and like I said, of course, I'll come in to do a follow-up video in the next couple weeks here. Pretty good so far. So I don't have like concealer, anything like that. I think the next step would be highlight. So I'm actually gonna finish off the rest of my face, and then we'll come back in with the Juvia'S palette to finish off the eyes before we keep going. So BRB. Ready, so I have some more of my face done, I have my brows on, and I didn't do lashes or anything because I still feel like there's something that I want to do with this palette, but this color combination is really hard for my skills, but I think I'm gonna take the orange, and this is where we could really like mess things up here. But I'm gonna take some of this orange on a Sigma Small Tapered blending brush. It's an E45, and I'm gonna like put it into the crease. Because like I like the look that I have here, but I still feel like there could be something more, especially with such a colorful palette. I just can't figure out what it is. So I'm just gonna kind of like put that into the crease and see what happens. Just a little bit more, and I'm trying to keep my brush like flat down instead of like up to make sure it doesn't get too high. I'm kind of like bringing it out as well, and then also putting it on the outer V, kind of where we did the pink. It's kind of turning it like a cool color. I like that color. It's like a starburst or something. Okay, so I don't feel like that changed it a ton, but I still like it. It kind of gave a different dimension to the pink out here, and then we still have a little bit of pink that fades on the inner, so I actually kind of like that. So that's where I'm going to keep it. I know, such a big difference. I know, you guys, really getting crazy over here. Woo! I'm just repeating on the other eye. I really do like the yellow shade in here though. I think that one is pretty cool. I'm just gonna pack a little bit more yellow onto the lid, just to make sure we didn't lose that in the process of adding another color. There, I feel like we kind of have like starburst sunset eyes. What do you guys think? I don't hate it, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. So, hey. Hey, we did something. We tried some funky colors in this palette. We still have to do the lower lash line too. We still could get even crazier. Hang tight. Alright, so I added just a little bit of mascara for now and some brown liner to my waterline. I am going to do lashes, but I'm going to wait till my camera starts to overheat again. I try to get like as much done, and then my camera overheats for a while, and then I do other things like pop on lashes because that takes me longer. But I'm going to finish off the lower lash line while I still have some charge left. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do here, but I think first I'm going to come in with the pink. Let's go with the pink. I'm going to use the Sigma E15 flat definer brush, and I'm going to push this up on the lower lash line and maybe just focus this one on kind of like the outer part of the eye. And I'm going to grab the orange. I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to put that one like middle inner part of the eye. I want to pick up this shade here on the top middle with a smaller brush. This one, I think this is a lip brush. Yeah, it's the Sigma LO4. And I'm going to put that into the inner corner because this one looked really fun and poppin'. All right, so I think that's gonna do it for my eye look. What do you guys think? I mean, I used a lot of color, especially for me, but I really like the way that it turned out. I'm digging it. You guys can let me know what you think and all that good stuff. But the Festival palette by Juvia'S, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing a bit of a colorful look from me, which don't do a ton, but I like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop lashes on and then we'll finish off with some highlight and lip color. Okay, so now I just need to finish off the face. I'm going to use these new highlights from TheBalm. They sent me over the Mary Manizer and then also Bonnie Manizer. So I haven't even swatched these. So I wanted to check these out. Mary Manizer was my very first ever highlight that I purchased. So I was pretty excited to get this from TheBalm. It was a cool moment, let me tell you. But let me go ahead. This is what the applicator looks like. Yep, that looks like Mary Luminizer in a liquid form. It sure does. All right, there is Mary. They did also send me a second set of these, so I'm going to be doing a Instagram giveaway. So if you're not following me yet on Instagram, that's where I'm going to be doing that giveaway. I've been trying to do, I always try to do my giveaways on all of my different platforms. Stay tuned because YouTube, we got something coming up for you, YouTube, but I really try to do Snapchat. I need to do a Twitter one, Instagram, YouTube. I try to do them all. So there is Bonnie next to Mary. So Bonnie is definitely more gold. So I'm going to use Mary. So let's give this a try. I'm not I'm just more of a powder highlight kind of girl. So we'll see how this goes. I'm just going to kind of pat some, and then I'm going to use my sponge to blend it out. Hopefully I can get it blended out okay. I feel like it just made a stripe on my face. I watched Chris and Dominique this morning and she used this and it didn't look like that. So what, I thought I was doing what she did. Maybe not. We'll try again. We'll like space them out more or something. This is why I stick with my powder highlights, because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, that looks a little bit better. A little bit better. So there is one cheek with Mary Luminizer. Again, I'm not really the best at these type of highlights, but I wanted to give them a try. So I thought maybe I might like fall in love, but I think my powder highlights are still gonna be my jam, but let's see how I do on the other side. Maybe I'll do a little bit better here. So I recommend, I mean, I do use liquid highlights, I have in my life. I recommend doing one side and then the other because I feel like they can kind of dry fast. So that's my little recommendation. I feel like I did better on that side. So that's good. It might just be something that I have to kind of like play around with for a while, you know, kind of like get the hang of it since I'm typically using powder, but I'm gonna do just a little bit, like, that's not a little bit, Samantha, but okay. You go, girl. You go, girl. I'm taking my sponge again. Typically do the bridge of my nose and also like the tip of my nose when highlighting. I kind of stopped highlighting everywhere, like, you know, my forehead. I mean, some days I do. Some days if I'm feeling it, I will, but especially with it just being like so like winter and like crummy, like I just don't feel like I'm like, I have glowing skin everywhere. I'm like, I'm cold and dry and miserable over here, but you know. So I'm gonna leave it like this for right now. I think you could probably like build it up and play with it some more, but honestly, I'm pretty intimidated by these. So I will just work on it and keep playing with them and, you know, come back with the follow-up. But if you guys love liquid highlights, I mean, these do look pretty and all of that. These are $14.50, so I'll keep trying them out, and maybe I'll give Bonnie a try too, but I'll keep trying them out. I think Mary Luminizer is going to be my favorite out of the two. Maybe layering the Mary Luminizer regular highlight could be pretty as well, but what do you guys think? Were you interested when you saw that they were coming out with these? let us know, but that is what my highlight looks like. And finally, for my lip color to finish off the look, I'm gonna try one of the new Pixi Matte Last Liquid Lip. I picked out the shade Pastel Petal? Pastel Petal? Yeah. They did send these over to me. These are $14 a piece, I think it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot. I've been hearing really good reviews about this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and try it. This is what the applicator looks like. It looks similar to me to the Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick, so let's go ahead and see. Has a scent to it. Not too bad, not too overpowering, but that went on really smoothly. I really like the way it applied. I really like the applicator. It was very pigmented. It went on super smoothly. I really, really like this color. It's a beautiful nude. Has a slight fragrance to it, but nothing too overwhelming. I'm going to let it dry down and then see if it transfers, because it does say matte last liquid lip. So I feel like that should dry down all the way. So I'm going to give it a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and spray my face, and then we'll see how this dries down. I do still see just a tiny little bit of transfer there. So I've been letting it sit for a while though, so maybe it's just one of those that takes even longer to dry down, or maybe they won't dry down completely all the way and I'll just get like slight transfer. I really like this color and I feel like it looks really pretty on the lips, so I'm excited to try some of these out. Like I said, I've been hearing really good reviews about them, so I've been wanting to try them for sure. Again, they're $14, so I will have everything, of course, that I use listed down below. But then after the lip color, then that is going to do it for my First Impression Friday. That is going to do it for today's First Impression Friday, trying out some new makeup products. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Running quickly through everything that I used: the Festival palette by Juvia'S. Again, a huge thank you to Ellie for sending this to me. I was really excited to try it. I will say that I'm slightly intimidated by the palette. If you aren't a big colorful person makeup wise, you might get a little bewildered looking at this guy, which I definitely was. But what I noticed too is that even though these shades are super bright, they do take a while to build up on the eyes, which is good for me, because if you just go in and like plop a shade down on your eyelid and it's too bright and too pigmented, it can be really hard to blend out, and then you can kind of have a mess. So I actually enjoy the fact that they weren't quite as pigmented as they might seem in the pans, and that it's easier to build up that way. So I personally did enjoy that. I just used 1, 2, 3, 4, well, I used 5 shades out of the palette, so I think that that's pretty good. I hope you enjoyed the more colorful eye look, but I've been really enjoying the Juvia'S palettes. I would recommend this one. It's $21.50. I think that's a great price for the 9 shades, and they are like bigger pan sizes, which I think is awesome. So I'll keep trying that one for sure and see what other looks I can create with it. So liked that one. The Milk Makeup Luminous Blur Stick. I'm just gonna have to try this one out a little bit more. First impression, it didn't do much for me. I don't think that I saw much actual blurring with the skin, which is what I get with the original Milk Makeup Blur Stick and why I go back to it so much. This one it definitely did leave me luminous, but I still felt like I needed some sort of like regular primer underneath it. So this might be good like in addition to another primer, maybe if you still want luminous areas and maybe you just want to apply this to like the areas that you highlight. But first impression, I'm not completely sold, but I'll definitely keep trying it out. It's definitely pricey at the $36, but I'll have to give this guy a few more tries. I actually really did enjoy the Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Creme. I really did like it, and as I've been sitting here, I mean, it's probably been at least an hour, if not more, since I started filming, and I still do like the way that my face looks. It's crazy to me that it says lightweight, yet the full coverage, and I could tell it was full coverage even from the 1.5 pumps, but it still does feel lightweight on the skin. My skin does not feel too heavy yet. I haven't noticed any sort of like weird areas around lines or my nose or anything like that. So I'm definitely gonna see how it lasts throughout the day. I'll try applying this with different primers. I do wanna try this with one of my regular primers that I enjoy and see how I like it then as well, because I don't know if I feel like it matched the best with that milk primer. So I'll use different brushes, tools, primers, and things like that so I can give a good review in my follow-up video. But so far I really did like this one. I liked the coverage that it gave. I liked that it was super easy to blend out. I don't think my shade match is 100%, but I think we're close enough. So far liking this guy. As for my girl Mary Luminizer, I'm not sold on this one either, but I'm also not a liquid highlight type of girl, but I still thought I could show how it applies and all of that. I mean, it's still pretty. and I'm just gonna have to try it out a few different ways. Maybe I'll try my finger versus a sponge. What do you guys think the best way to apply a liquid highlight is? Let me know. I'm just personally more of a powder type of gal when it comes to highlight, but I'll keep giving it a shot. It's $14.50. If you love liquid highlights, it is very pretty. And then the Pixi by Petra Matte Last Liquid Lip in Pastel Petal. I really love the color. I'm enjoying the feel of it so far. Of course, I'm gonna have to wear it throughout the day and see how it holds up and lasts, but I'm pretty excited to be trying out this guy. It has really good reviews, so I'm excited to test it out a little bit longer, and of course come back in a couple weeks to give you guys my full thoughts, my full reviews on all of these products that I tried. But let me know what you thought of the first impressions video. Let me know what you thought of the eye look that I created or any of the other products that I used. I would love to hear your thoughts down below. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you will give it a thumbs up. I hope that you will also consider subscribing before you go, and I will catch you guys in my next video.